Hi guys, I'm Joseph Einstein and I am back on Trendy with Allison.
Welcome to another episode of Trendy with Kim Allison. I've got a return guest today whose hair is always bouncing and behaving. Perfect face, perfect smile, and you know what else is perfect? His specialty work. He is my favorite UK babe, Joseph Ianson. Joseph, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. I loved it last time, so I'm so glad to be back.
I am happy to have you back. And here's a flex for those who are new. Joseph, he's not just your ordinary hairdresser. Joseph is a multi award winning hairdresser. He judges shows and so much more. And he's here to talk hair with me. So, everyone, are you ready to be inspired? I am always happy to be inspired by Joseph. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right. Okay. So we're going to start off because I've asked every guest because I started the new year talking about pricing because that's pretty much how we ended last year.
Yeah.
And I promise this whole entire episode to my audience, I'm not going to say the name of the shitstorm that started this pricing conversation. I'm not going to say her name. May her business thrive. Okay. So I want to first talk, Joseph, about pricing because I know you're in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm here in the US. So I want to get into pricing and salon culture, comparing service pricing, salon expectations, and whether clients are pushing back in cost in the UK the way they are here in the US, because they are roasting our asses here in the US. All
Okay.
right. So what is the difference over there? Are you getting any pushback the way they are here? Do you hear it at all?
Definitely. I think, like, on, for instance, like social media and stuff, there's a lot of things to do with pricing. And I think a lot of non hairdressers, clients who are getting their hair done, I think they necessarily don't always see a hairdresser's worth. And I think we are getting a little bit of that, but I'm hoping that, sort of like the more conversation that happens around it, that the client does become aware of a hairdresser's worth, because it's not just what we're buying in for stock and stuff, it's the hours of training and all sorts of stuff like that that actually goes into it. And I do
Mhm.
think as hairdressers we do get a bit of a bad rap because nobody questions a plumber, when they charge however much, or when, if you need a lawyer or a solicitor for something, we just pay that price and it's that fee. So I think hairdressers, we need a little bit of slack from clients, definitely, because we've trained for years and perfected our skills, and we're always training, we're always looking for new courses to go on, and different, leveling up all the time. So I do think we get a bad rap, definitely, from clients sometimes. Not all, not all.
Yeah, but and it's interesting that it transcends across the globe. This pricing, I
Yeah.
don't know what to call it. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you charge this. And Joseph, I don't know if you agree with me, but when I write these questions and the more I dive into pricing in the industry, I'm reminded that people don't necessarily respect our station in life, and I often wonder if that's where it starts. Like, I'm going to a hairdresser, how dare she charge? How dare I pull out more than $100 out of my wallet,
Yeah.
right? Because that is not a doctor, it's not a lawyer, it's not a, university graduate,
Yeah.
if you will. How dare they? And it's like there's something called, for any client listening, entrepreneurship, right? And so entrepreneurship is, I set the standard as to how I'm going to show up in the industry. And not every hairdresser is equally yoked. There are some hairdressers, for comparison's sake, that they probably charge less, and if you went to that hairdresser, there's probably a reason why.
Exactly.
We are not all cut from the same cloth, and that's another part of education that I feel needs to be shouted out into the world. It's
Yeah.
that, we come in all different shapes and sizes. Some of us pour into our education and in our work, and some of us don't. So you can't really put us all in one box. That's part of the problem, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you because I think like if you there's something for everybody's budget. Like there is, sort of like your hairdressers who are going to be a budget friendly, and then you get different bands. But that's like with everything in life, isn't it?
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
for shops, like you've got different shops where you get your clothes from. You've got different levels of what you want, and I think it's the
Exactly.
same with hairdressers. We've got to remember to respect ourselves and have boundaries there as to where we can, and I don't think you need to take the mick with pricing, like as in be silly with it and want to, be absolutely extortionate, but charge your worth as long as you feel comfortable in yourself, that you think, yes, I'm worth this money, this the client is getting, an amazing service from me, then you should be happy with what you charge.
Oh, absolutely. And that's a perfect segue into what I'm going to say next, because this is what pisses off hairdressers. But again, I'm a truth teller, right? So I think, partly to your point, charge what you're worth, but be worth what you charge, more
100%.
importantly,
Yeah,
right? Because clients don't care what it costs as long as they get the value. They really don't. They prefer you have a higher price point, because that means they're going to get a luxury, a better service,
that's it.
right?
That is exactly it. And it's sort of like if you're charging that higher price point, you do sort of need to be obviously also using luxury products as well, I'd say, making sure that you're using something, that is really sort of like, it's a bit special to that client, because then they'll love it. Like if they think they're getting value for money,
Mhm.
then they're going to love it even more. So I think that is it. And I definitely find that sort of like with my clients and how I am with them. I'm always, sort of like leveling up my skills, regularly training in the salon. We all do in the salon. We all have regular training days. So we're always perfecting our skills. So we know that what we're charging has got worth to it. So, and
Mhm.
we're comfortable with what we charge, and I wouldn't say that we're astronomical and through the roof, and we're also
Right.
charging, sort of like a small fee. I'd say we're sort of like
Sure.
we're closer to the top end, but we're not being silly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know I'm going to say this and unapologetically, by the way, I must be shady boots, because I've tried to get guests to agree with me on this, and so far I feel no one wants to touch this topic. A
It,
conversation about unity in the industry and whether stylists should stand together even when standards vary, like widely. In other words, should we have blind loyalty as stylists to other stylists even when they're not representing the industry as they should?
I think what in that sort of like scenario there, I think there is an element of loyalty that we should all have as a community of hairdressers, and it's you might not always agree with what the other person is doing, but I think as long as if someone's willing to learn, because I think that's it. Somebody could be not doing the right thing, and then if they're willing to learn and put time in, they could elevate into be better. Do I think they should be blind? No, I don't think they should be blind loyalty. I don't, because I think we should be always encouraging people to do better and to strive for better. So I think if you're always reassuring someone and saying, yeah, that's great, even though it's not great what they're doing, I think you should always push someone. And so I think encouragement, necessarily not shun them away, it should be encouragement. If they don't want to learn, then they don't want to learn. But, it's
That's
always,
true.
I think it's always worth, encouraging people, supporting each other. But obviously, with anything in life, if that support is not being reciprocated, then you don't continue it, do you?
Yeah, and, support being constructive.
100%.
Constructive criticism is necessary. That's how we grow,
Def-
And if we strengthen our community, it takes us talking to each other to do that. And
yeah,
if I have to sugarcoat everything for you, maybe it's just my generation, we don't sugarcoat anything.
no,
So if I have to sugarcoat it and pad it for you, then where's the struggle? Because struggle
yeah.
is what creates greatness, in my opinion.
Definitely. And part of the reason that I went into like educating and taking like my masterclass like out there and doing that education is because I wanted to get people who hated hair ups and didn't like doing them and make them better. So I like supporting people in that way. But that's one of the things on my course. I will never tell someone that they're doing something right if they're not. I'll always say, oh, you've sort of got it, but you could do a change in this. You know, it's a little bit
Mm.
quite right. So I'm always constructing. I'd never say to someone, yeah, that's amazing if it's not, because why would you? You should always, I think it's sort of like layer it up, give them the good, the bad, and then, say, and let's work on that and let's move forward. That's how I was trained. I was I was trained by Mark and Richard, and they were fantastic training me, but they never lied to me and told me something was good when it wasn't. They'd tell me when things were wrong. If I go back to like right when I first started and it was just doing blow dries, and
Mhm.
it was like I can remember crying, like one training night.
Oh.
I just wasn't getting it, and they were like, "You're gonna have to do it again. It's not right. You've not done this, you've not done that. It's flat." And but it made me into such a good stylist because they didn't sugarcoat it, but they were really. It gave me constructive criticism. Like it was crying out of frustration that I couldn't get it, but I think that's where my
Mhm.
grew from. And I'm really thankful for that training from them because they were amazing. They were fantastic.
Oh gosh, I that takes me back to my days at Tony and Guy when we were learning to blow dry and how it looks so easy, but I was not getting it.
Now that,
And even the instructor, she had to go to our owner of our salon, Jerry, and she goes, I don't know how to instruct her. I've tried all that I can. She's just not getting it. I'm like, I
yeah,
cannot. Yeah, and that's when I decided, and I say it to this day with hair. I'm talking to the hair always. I'm like, I am smarter than the hair.
yes.
You will not defeat me at all ever again. Come on. Can't be
There's
that
a,
much.
it's looking at that hair and thinking, no, you're not going to beat me. And
At all.
that's it. I think you've got to have that as well. You've got to have that, like, I'm going to win, I'm going to smash this, and I'm going to do a good job. And I think if, again, going back to the community, if we've all got that, that want to do better, then, and we
Mhm.
support each other to get better and do education. And I think education now is absolutely flying. I think, especially like these last 4 years, I think the amount of courses that I see that are available for people to either do online or to do, like to go to different events and things. Yeah, there's no reason that people can't always be bettering themselves.
Oh yeah, and I like I told you off camera, I'm going to a class, hairbrained with Emily Chen, Jacob Kahn, and the two others, and that class is sold out.
Amazing.
So I guess that. What does that say? We still, even at my stage in the profession, we all still need education ongoing because it's forever changing, and that's
Well,
the only thing that's going to make you better.
definitely. And trends change so quick and so fast,
Mhm.
and techniques change, even if it's like a subtle change. So, but it's fun. I enjoy sort of like looking at, like when people are working and seeing different things they do. And I think I'd have never thought to do that. But I love it when I find, like them little bits of like a diamond in the rough where you think, wow, that's a good technique there.
Yeah, there's more than one road to get there.
Mm,
And your road, sometimes you're in a rut. So
yeah.
you need just a different way to get there. It just makes it refreshing.
Definitely, yeah. It's always good to see a different set of eyes on it.
Yeah. All right, Joseph, you've been here before, so you know my trendy games. I
Yeah.
am the game girl. And this one today, I put in the middle of our episode because you've used terms already that we don't use here.
Oh,
and I love the British. I just the accent, all of it. You know, us Americans, we love it. So I called this game, what do I call this game? British Slang, the
okay.
Hairdresser Edition. How about that? We'll
Okay,
go there.
go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say a British phrase. You
Yeah.
tell me what it actually means, and then we're gonna connect it to salon life.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what the American version would be, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, first one, gobsmacked.
Gobsmacked. Okay, so that's like shocked, like, oh my God, I am absolutely gobsmacked. I can't believe it. Lost for words.
Ah, got you. Okay. So gobsmacked is basically when a client says, "So I box dyed it black
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
Can we go platinum today?"
Yeah. You'd be like, I was gobsmacked. No way can she do that. It's like,
Right. Yeah, and for us, it would be shooketh,
yes,
speechless, my jaw is on the floor.
we're on the floor.
That
Yeah.
would be yes, okay.
That's,
Alright, are you ready for our second one?
yeah, let's do it.
Taking the piss.
Oh, taking the piss. Right. So that would be, that's like when you can't, like, I'll give you a scenario. So, like, if a client was meant to be in an hour ago and then still wants like a full balayage and a full service, and you're like, she still wants it. She's an hour late. She's taking the piss. So, like, taking the mick. She's like, you're like, no, she can't be real. That kind of thing.
Okay, alright, and for us, it would be, "You're joking, right?" You
Yes.
know what I mean? Like, be for real, like, seriously? So, yeah, okay, I gotcha. Okay, this one I've never heard. Kn knackered?
Oh, yeah. Knackered. That's like after a long day at work, you get home, you're like, God, I'm knackered. I've been on my feet all day. I'm so knackered.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
however, I do have a little story about that one. So, some people perceive that as swearing as well. So, a client once came into
Oh.
the salon, and one of the stylists went over, looked at her hair, and it was all like chewy, stretchy, elastic. And he went, "Oh, your hair's knackered," like as in it's bad, it's not good. She went crazy. She was like, "How dare you swear at me? That's disgusting." And we're like, "It's not a swear word as what we know." We're like, "Oh, it's knackered." Like
Oh, I
broke
see.
another way. Like, if you had a car and it broke down, you'd be like, oh, it's knackered.
Right, okay,
So this
gotcha.
use that.
Alright, so that could be careful with that word, because some would that be a generational thing?
Uh,
Would a younger person versus an older person perceive it differently?
Definitely. I think sort of like anybody sort of like, born sort of like 80s onwards probably, you know, would be fine with it. I think maybe a little bit before, maybe they might sort of like be a little bit like, ooh, like not quite happy with that.
So it kind of means, if I'm translating that to the US, it kinda means exhausted, dead, done,
Yeah.
done with.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Alright, dodgy.
Dodgy. Oh, so back to the box dye, we'd say like, oh, she's got a dodgy box dye on her hair. It's like bad, weird, strange. It's like, oh, not right.
Okay, so for us, that would be like sus, sketch,
Yes.
questionable, that kinda thing.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, that's questionable.
perfect. Alright, brilliant, cheers.
Brilliant. Cheers. So brilliant is like absolutely amazing. Oh, it's brilliant. It looks fantastic. Your hair feels brilliant, good, amazing. And then cheers is like thank you. Which depends what context. If we're using it in salon life, you'd say like if someone said, "Oh, thank you for doing my hair," you'd be like, "Oh, cheers, you're welcome." Like thanks. That kind
Oh, I see. Okay,
of
kinda like for us, it would be like, "Amazing, thank you,
yeah,
you're the best," that
yeah, like
kinda thing.
oh yeah, yeah, like oh, cheers, yeah, oh, cheers.
Okay, alright, I love it. Alright, bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs. Oh, that's like so you've got like in the UK, a lot of people have in their kitchen, they have a bits and bobs drawer, which they will call like just put anything in. So it'll be like pens, receipts, coins, things like that. So you'll be like, oh, bits and bobs, there's bits and bobs there.
Gotcha. And that's like clients bringing just a few products I've been using, and it's 14 random oils and a purple shampoo from 2009. Like, in other words, what we would say is random stuff or a bunch of things, like
Yeah.
just things. That's
If
what you mean.
using a lot of like random little products, we could say like bitting and bobbing, like oh the bitting and bobbing,
Ah,
like the bit of this, bit of that, bob of this.
okay. All right. Bitten and bobbin. All right. I think I'm going to use that. I'm going to bring that. I'm going to make that a US term.
Yeah, bit
All
of
right. And we love this one. Fancy.
fancy. Oh, that means like good. That's like oh you're so fancy. Like
So that means the same thing it does here.
yeah, so like fancy. Would we use it in a different like? I would probably say like oh you fancy, um, but I don't like fancy is actually you would say like if you liked somebody as in like you thought they were attractive you go oh like if a really hot gent walked in you might go oh I fancy him.
Ah, like some of that, like you're into it. You're
Yeah,
into them.
yeah he's hot you
Ah,
fancy him. Fancy.
okay.
We've got
Got you.
as can be lots of stuff because we can say oh you're looking very fancy, like if you're all dolled up, or it could be like oh fancy them, double meaning.
Right. So fancy dolled up is the dictionary term, but fancy the slang would
Yeah,
be he's hot or I like him or
yeah,
whatever. Okay, got it.
yeah.
All right. So last one, mate.
Mate. So that's like a friend, but people use it quite casually, so it'd be like ah you're right mate. So it's like just a quick, like, I suppose you'd say, like, you're right, friend. But yeah, you go, you're right, mate. How you doing, mate? That kind of thing.
I see. So like bestie, my friend, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But like, like someone who you just sort of like see, um, they're not necessarily like a close friend, but you're like, what would you say if you went, hi? What would you say? Because we'd say, like, hi, mate.
I would say, "Hey, girl," or,
So it's
"Hey,
like
my
that.
friend." That's
Yeah.
what I would say.
Yeah, that is it. That's it.
Okay, perfect, and I thought that was my last one, but I have one more
Oh,
that
okay.
I just thought of because I watch Love Island all I told you,
Uh,
it's my favorite show. Love Island UK, and I watch After Sun as
oh,
well.
wow. The full
So, I know, I'm in it.
you are
Yes, okay, I'm gutted.
gutted. That is like, oh my God, I'm absolutely gutted. I'm sad. I'm like, yeah, you like, yeah, I'd say sad. Like you're just sad. You're shocked and sad. Like, oh, I'm absolutely gutted that. So if like so you got dumped on Love Island, you'd be like, oh, I'm gutted. He's dumped me. Like,
Okay. So
like
devastated. It's like I'm
devastated.
heartbroken. I'm just
Yeah,
okay.
gutted. Oh, I'm gutted. Yeah.
Gutted. All right. I may change mine up. Like instead of devastated, I think I'm going to be gutted from
But
now on. Well, that was fun. I love that.
I love good.
Yes, thank you. And I need Americans to start using British slang like
I,
immediately. You explained those so well.
I think we should because we do use a lot of American slang. I think, like so yeah. I think you need to bring it over there. Get a bit of British slang going on.
Yes, exactly. What American slang do you use? What's your favorite slang word?
Slang word. It's more like phrases, I think, because obviously we get a lot of American shows over here, so we like get little phrases and stuff. So like girl, like oh girl, like
Ah,
little, like especially like when someone tells you a shocking story, you're like oh girl. Think little bits like that. All sorts really. But yeah, I can't think on the spot, but literally, if you put cameras into the salon and you listen to us in the dispensary when we're mixing colours, it would be American accents, all different sorts of stuff. We just slip in and out of it.
well, one of them I think you guys picked up. It's kind of died down here now, but it's giving.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's giving. It's giving. It's
Mm.
giving. I love it. So, and everything sounds better in a British accent,
Do
in
you,
my opinion. So
oh, you
I'll work on mine.
have an American accent? I absolutely, if I could swap an accent, I'd have an American accent. That's what I'd have.
Are you joking?
No, I love an American accent. I do like it, and I think I can do quite a good one. When
Ooh.
I'm not on the spot, but I think I can do a good one. Yeah.
So I can't put you in the hot seat and ask you to give your best American accent?
If you give me something to say and I've got to say it, I'll do it. What?
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask my next question,
Okay.
because we're going to talk about luxury styling tools and if they're worth it. Because a lot of clients, they struggle, right? They ask you, oh my gosh, because we always flat iron and blow dry so much better than they do, and they bypass us straight to the tool. Well,
Yeah.
what blow dryer is that? I'm like, it's not the blow dryer, girl.
Yeah.
It's how I blow dry, but okay,
Yeah.
right? So, but we know now also that suddenly, if we don't have a $400 blow dryer, then
Yeah.
we're using cheap tools. So I wanted to talk about, is there really, because you're an updo artist. You've perfected the up, what do you call them? The hair ups.
Hair ups. Yeah. Hair ups. Updo.
Yes, you call them hair ups and we call them updo, same thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to talk to you to answer any clients who may be watching, because they go, God, do I have to buy? I mean,
Yeah.
should I buy this? Because it is $400 for a home blow dryer is a lot. So,
Yeah.
in your best American accent, Joseph,
Okay.
are luxury styling tools worth it?
Right. Okay. 1 second. So I have to be careful because I slip into Australian as well. So like Santa Monica. Santa Monica? No, I'm Australian now because if I try to do an accent, I go to Australian. Right, so American. So oh, give me 2 seconds. Oh my God, that's like definitely. So like luxury tools are something that you've got to have because how does that sound? Is that all right?
Yes,
Okay?
you
That,
got it.
um, but yeah, so luxury tools. I think so. There's a difference, I think, between sort of like client and stylist, as in who should have what. I do think there is a difference in some respect because, for instance, I think especially with the likes of stuff like Shein and Temu, do you have those over there?
Oh, we have Alibaba, we have Sheen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and TikTok Shop, there's lots of like tools that are coming through the market at the minute, which necessarily haven't got the technology behind them, as in, and the science and all that somebody's crafted. So I think you do have to be careful as a client buying them and your client buying them. I think you just have to educate them on that, it might not be the safest thing to use. For instance, like the heat might not be regulated. The heat around like the whole barrel or something might be a little bit off because there's a reason why they are being sold, at like £15 or, $20. They're not always the best. That doesn't mean that you've got to go and spend on a $400, dollar hairdryer. Again, for a stylist, I think it is wise to invest in good tools because again, if you're charging back to earlier, you're charging a high price. You want that client to know that they're having the best on the hair, because if you're using a $400 hairdryer, they're like, wow, they've used that new hairdryer. Oh, it's amazing. It feels so good. And, and they like it. They go and tell their friends, they'll be like, oh, I went to the salon the other day and they got one of them $400 hairdryers and he was using it on me. It was amazing. So I think as a stylist, it's always good to invest. And that's what I do. I always invest in my tools and I always make sure that I have got good tools. Obviously, again, for clients, I think it's obviously not as easy to go out and, buy something as expensive as that. But I think you do have to be mindful and not get sucked into buying something just because it's cheap or, it's on sale, like 2 for 1 and you give one to your sister or to your mum, whichever. I think it's just be careful and be mindful of what you're buying. There's a reason why they have a $400 price tag, and that's because of the technology that's gone in them. We tend to use a lot of GHD over here in the UK. We have
Oh.
a lot of the GHD products, Cloud9 as well, and they are expensive irons, but in my opinion, they are worth it. And I do think, and every pair that I've had has lasted me the test of time. I've never had anything break other than a company that I won't name that I used it literally twice, and it was cheaper. I got it off Amazon because I wanted a really big barrel tongue, and I used it twice. And the third time I used it, I took it to do a bride's hair, and the tongue piece on top just snapped. Now, luckily, I had a spare one with me, but can you imagine if I'm doing a bride's hair, I'd only got that tongue with me? That's a third use. And I look after my stuff. I'm very, particular. I keep everything nice and clean and looked after. And when that broke, that solidified to me that I'll never buy that brand again. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, that would put you in a pickle.
Definitely. I mean, I was very lucky that I always take two of everything. I'm like, two of everything just in case something breaks. But imagine if I'd not. I'd have been in a.
That is so smart too. Take 2 of everything. Pro tip. I love that. And there is a mid-range as well, and that's what I suggest to clients. I say, do you need to use the tools I use? Not necessarily, because the reason why we spend the money on our tools is because we use them every day, all day long. Home use, you're going to use it every so maybe once a week,
Yeah,
whereas I'm using it multiple times a day, every day, right?
yeah,
That I'm in the salon. So you could do like an $80 flat iron and
yes,
be fine, but
yeah,
I need the $250 flat iron
yeah.
to right?
That is
So,
exactly it. Definitely.
yeah, and also the plating, titanium, I think is best used by a professional.
Yeah,
I recommend ceramic to
yes,
my clients because titanium, that heat is way too high for them to manage, in my opinion, you
definitely,
know?
definitely. And
Yeah.
again, like with the client, you've got to almost educate them into that, haven't you? Like say to them, oh, be careful with this, be careful with that, because they don't know. They just go on, flick a tool on. It's like, ones with heat settings. I always say, don't go straight in at the top. Work your way up and see what suits your hair best. And I'll say, I'm using it on this temperature. I'm using 180 here. But at home, you might want to drop it down to 150, especially if they're one of these, like serial straighteners that are always wanting its, poke.
Mhm.
I'm like, don't keep going in, super hot. And again, that's why I think they do need to always hit middle of the road, because you go cheap, I think it can sometimes be a little bit too hot sometimes and not
Oh,
heat really
yeah.
well.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're my client watching, I don't trust you, right? So I even just do on off switch.
Yeah,
I don't trust you not to keep bumping that thing up to
yeah,
450 degrees.
yeah,
So, yeah, you need an on off switch. That
yeah,
is perfectly regulated heat.
exactly.
You know what still surprises me? How many stylists tell me they've never heard of Virtue Lab products. Found Virtue back in 2017 at a hair show, and I've been hooked ever since. I use it on myself, like this beautiful flourish right here. It's their hair thinning line. There's a full system. There's a shampoo, there's a conditioner, there's a density booster, one that's drug free, and the other one that has minoxidil in it, which is amazing, you guys. If you haven't tried these products, please do. And it's one of the lines I actually stand behind as a professional. Here's why it's different. Virtue is the only hair care line in the world that uses human derived keratin called alpha keratin 60Ku. Because it's human derived, your body recognizes it as its own and actually accepts it. We all want products that truly heal and repair hair, right? Not just make it shiny for a day. Virtue does that. It literally fills in the cracks in the damaged areas, strand by strand. So, you guys, trust me. You'll see results after one use, but after 5 washes, honey bunny, the hair will feel like a completely different head of hair. Soft, strong, and actually healthy. So if you're ready to stop masking damage and start repairing it, I know you're ready. Shop Virtue through my link today in the description. Support the show, support your hair. You'll thank me later. Bye. Joseph, since you are the master, and you guys go check out his page because I am not lying to you. He is the master of beautiful, soft upsweeps, just flawless work. So give us your top 5 favorite products. Like, what are your Fab Five?
Well, I have come prepared. So as in I've got a few like here, so I thought I'd show you. So this is the GHD Kronos, and this is a 32 millimeter barrel tongue. Now I absolutely love tongues. I'm obsessed because I think they just they make curling the hair so much easier than a straightener, especially if you've got someone's hair that's a bit pulley. A tongue is really good to just wrap around. Absolutely love these. These come everywhere with me. The technology that's inside them is fantastic. It's so good. But
Now, what did you mean by pulley, when the hair is pulley?
so sometimes it depends on, like for instance, what the client maybe has used on their hair. As in, like, say for instance, you go to do like an up style, like a bridesmaid, and she's like, I've washed it, blow dried it, I just need it waving in that simple half up. You don't necessarily always know what they've used on the hair there. So sometimes when you go in with a straightener, it can like snag a bit. That could be like silicone buildup in the hair, especially if they've been using, like a shampoo that's got a high silicone level in. It can often coat the hair. Whereas with a tongue, you can more just sort of like keep twist wrapping, and it makes it a bit easier. So you're not getting that like jaggedy pull.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're not getting snagged along the way.
Yeah,
Got you.
exactly. So
Okay,
I always find a tongue is a little bit of a safer bet. And I always think that the curl is a little bit more uniform as well.
perfect. Okay.
So then this is again a tongue because I love tongues. So this is my absolute favourite. This definitely tops it all because this is a 38 millimeter barrel, and it's the Mermaid. I think it's just called Big Tongue. I think it is, but I love this for
And
just
the brand is Mermaid?
mermaid hair. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a fab one. It's really good for just creating that big bouncy blowout. I love to use this and then put it in Velcro rollers. Absolutely amazing. And that can lead me into another one of my favorite products, which I've
And
only.
that one is pretty.
Oh, I know, isn't it? I mean, as you
Yes.
room, I love pink. So if anything's pink, I'm like a magpie for it. I want it. So I'm like pink. I'm having it. Um, so yeah, it's absolutely really good, really good. Love it. It detaches as well. So if you are doing like a bride or you're on location, you can get all different attachments. So you can get smaller tongues, you can get just a wand, you can get straightener plates, and then you're only using one handle. So it's fab, really good.
Oh, wow, love that. T3 kinda does a lot of that
Yeah. So
detachable stuff.
I was looking at a T3, and then a lot of videos came up on my TikTok about the handles. Is something happening? It was
Yeah,
a
they're hard to get off. They're hard to get on, hard to get off.
Are they? Because something
Yes.
about this bit breaking off on the T3.
Oh, I struggle so much with trying to
You
that I just leave them. It was a waste of money for me.
you were like, no, not bothered.
It's too much. Yeah, I just go and grab what I know.
That's it. I think as hairdressers, we get to know like as favourites, don't we? And we sort of like that's why I mix and match a lot of brands. Some people always stay loyal to one, and I like a lot of different things because you get used to what you like, don't you?
Exactly.
So
All
my
right.
next one is one that I've only just got into recently, probably like the last 4 months, is a brand called Dom Dom, which I think is American because he's from Beverly Hills, I believe, the guy who created.
Oh, the stylist, Dum Dum.
Yes, it's a Dom Dom ball bristle brush, and it's called the Pappy. I've not got it with me because it's actually at the salon because I use it every day, and it
Can
gives.
you tell us again what it's called?
It's called the Pappy. Uh,
Pappy.
yeah, like as in, is it PAPI?
Okay. Pappy. Yep.
Um, and it's a ball bristle and nylon, and it's quite a big size, but the blowout that it gives you is amazing. It gives you shine. It really gets that tension, so you can really do a smooth, big, bouncy blowout. Honestly, it's leveled up my blowout game insanely. It's such a
So
good brush.
it's not all boar bristle or wire bristle. It's a blend.
It's a blend, yeah. So there's like some boar and some nylon, yeah. So it's a blend mix for it, which is yeah. I'd not even. seen a little bit on Instagram, but not really sort of like ventured into it. And then I was like, yeah, give it a go. And I did, and I absolutely love it. It's a staple now.
You've inspired me to try it then.
Definitely.
'Cause I struggle with all boar bristle. I know that brand came out, they had, like, the corkscrew handles and all boar bristle round brush, and they kinda have this indentation on both sides, and people were, rolling the hair and putting multiple brushes all over the head, and
Yeah.
it just so I got the whole line, and I'm like, "Oh my god, crap, another waste of money."
Oh no.
Oh
Good.
Oh, I was getting tangled, I was getting just forever, wouldn't it was really, made the blow dry longer, I felt.
Yeah. I have got another ball bristle brush which I've not been able to get on with the same way, as in it felt like that was like always like pulling like that, and you sort of like feel like, whereas this has got that right amount of tension. That's why I've always sort of stayed away from ball bristle brushes until this one, and then I'm like sold. Like I'm
Ooh, and if you say it, I take that as gold.
Here we
So
go.
I am sold too.
Yeah.
Alright, what else do you have for us?
So, hairspray. So again, I'm a bit funny with hairsprays because I don't like anything that's too crispy and crunchy. I like something that is like workable. So I have two absolute of my favourites. So I'm going to show you so you can see. So one of them is the Redken, and it's the quick dry hairspray. So I like this one for, I feel like I can still work with it. It's not too wet, it's not too heavy, it doesn't make it too crispy. It's got sort of like, I would say, it says high hold, but I wouldn't say it's that sort of like heavy. I think you can get, they do like higher numbers, but I love this one to work with. And then my absolute luxury one, which it's just beautiful and it smells absolutely amazing, is the Orbe. Do you have that? Do you have Orbe? I think it's from New
We
York.
do. We do have Orbe, yes, it is definitely a luxury brand.
100%. So that's why I've always got the two, because I sort of like use this very sparingly, because obviously I don't want to be going crazy. It's like a $50 hairspray, maybe a $60 over there. So it is the luxury side, but it's always nice to just have a little bit of luxury and just use it sparingly. You're not going to go crazy.
I
Whereas,
would probably only a $50 bottle, I probably only use it on the clients I like. I'm just kidding. No, I stand by my word. I would use it.
like,
Yes.
if I went to like to do a bride, I'd probably use this more sort of like on the bride. I'd maybe use this a little bit more on the bridesmaids, blah blah blah. The bride gets the luxury. It's a special day, and it smells.
Exactly.
It's got a beautiful fragrance to it, but it's super fine. So sometimes if you've got someone with fine hair, it's really good for that because it doesn't sit heavy. If you're doing like bangs through here and you want that really nice sort of like sweep, it's really good for that because then it doesn't weigh it down. It keeps it really quite airy. So yeah, I like that.
Ooh. Ooh, those sound yummy, both of them.
Yeah,
Love, love, love.
they're really nice.
Alright. Anything else you have for us, or are those your faves?
They're my faves. I'm just looking to see what I've got because I've got like an absolute array of stuff. But
So we have hot tools, which are perfect. Your
yeah,
favorite hairspray. Do you
yeah,
have any elixirs, like any type of styling products that you love for shine and pliability? Because I find that when you set hair, when you curl hair, that you always have the frizz monster. So
yeah.
what do you do to control frizz?
I will show you. So I've got a couple. So these are again my favourites, and they're all at different sort of like price points. So I absolutely love this one, and this one I actually got in a originally. This isn't the same one, but I got it in like a goodie bag. Do you call them goodie bags?
Yep.
So like when you
Mhm.
go to an event. So I got this one, and this is the Schwarzkopf, and it's called Fiber Clinics, I believe, and it's just the light oil for fine to medium. But I love it. I don't know lots about it. I just tried it and I was like, oh my God, that leaves, like, when you've waved hair, like 2, 3 pumps of this, warm it in your hands, put it through, and it, oh, absolutely amazing.
And
So,
you put that through on dry hair.
yes, yeah, I use this.
Okay.
But like I say, because there's nothing like, no information really about sort of like using it on it at all. But it does say like nourish, so it keeps it really nice. So I just thought, give it a go. Love it, absolutely love it. Um,
I hate that we don't have that here.
don't you have that? This,
No, I've never seen it.
well, I've never seen it, and then I've ordered it again since online. But as you can see, it's well used. Like a
Yes, it is.
well used. And then I don't know if you have. Do you have Remy Cachet over there?
I don't think so. And
So,
then, there's a hairdresser watching this screaming probably like, "Kim, where have you been? We do have it." I'm like, "Well, I've not seen it." How
well,
about that?
Cachet is hair extensions over here. So for anyone with hair extensions, I love to use this. Again, it's a well used product. It's just designed to hydrate and restore. So sometimes like extensions, especially if they've had them in a while, can get quite dry.
Mhm.
Amazing for restoring that, especially for like brides or wanting them long, flowing, beautiful waves. And its hair extensions, absolute must. I mean, you can use it on normal hair as well, but it's definitely. And then again, super luxury, and you can tell not as well used, but it's the Orbe Gold Lust. And again, a lovely oil, but use it very sparingly. The only thing that does give me a little bit is the fact that it's like a little bit yellowy. So I always put this on wet. I don't put it on dry.
Got you. Because in blondes especially, you can get that amber, that weird color.
Exactly. So I'll put it into blow dry. I don't finish off with that one. That one's just more like if I know that I've got, it tends to be more brunette, when it's like really thick, sort of like often like fuzzy hair, and you think, I really want to smooth this down, really nourish it. Amazing for that.
So that one probably is a little heavier, I would imagine, than the
Definitely.
first one you showed
I
us.
would use that on like someone with like fine blonde hair. That's more for like thicker, coarser, maybe curly, and they want like a really smooth blowout. It's more for sort of like that. But I will show you what I do with them. So just to make it, this is how like camp I am. To make like any serums look nice, if I have a favourite, I've got like a little glass decanter which I take around with me, so that then it just looks like a little bit more luxury. You see, if you're doing a bride and you put that in front of her, I mean, how glam does that look?
Oh my gosh, so you just got a pretty bottle that
Yeah,
you loved and you poured into the oh my gosh, that is so brilliant.
yeah. And
That is so dainty.
exactly. So I just take this around with me. It sits on, like the work side when I'm working. And then, like when the bridal photographers coming round, they're often like taking little pictures of that in the settings because it looks cute.
Oh my gosh, that's so smart versus the universal packaging that you can see on anybody's bathroom countertop.
If you was a bride and you was having like some pictures took of you getting ready, would you sooner see this or would you sooner see this on the side? You're going to go this one, aren't you? So
Look at that.
it's little details.
And that I've never I mean, that is such a great tip. And now every lady watching this is their whole bathroom now is gonna be
Yeah.
luxury bottles, and you just gotta remember what's in the bottle, because
Ex-
me and traveling, I put things in little travel, and I have to sniff them. 'em. I'm like, "Oh my god, what is this?" You know?
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to label it.
You've got to remember what you've put in what, because you don't want to be putting something through and then thinking like, that's not meant to go on dry, and like which I have done before, like with when I've grabbed sort of like thinking it's a hairspray, and then I've grabbed it and it's like a root spray, like to give volume, and it's like wet. That's been a bit of a nightmare before.
And those 2 products are 2 different consistencies. Whoa, that would be a nightmare.
But
For
definitely.
sure. Wow, what value you gave us today. What a treat for us. Thank you so much for that.
Oh,
And
very
now I love to be inspired. I love learning. I love education. And I hope I've given the gift of you to anyone watching. That was amazing.
good.
So, we're going to have a little fun on our way out of here. as I told you today, we're gonna answer a couple of client questions
Yeah.
to end the show. And I got some good emails that I'm gonna read. One is actually hilarious. I'm like, "Are you joking? How did you even think of this question?" So, I mean, it's kind of lewd, but I'm gonna ask it because that's what she sent me.
Okay.
Where is it? So, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Because when you have people text you things, the thread gets really long. Okay,
Oh,
here it is. All right, she says, "Have you ever passed gas and blamed it on products?"
um, me personally, no, but I do know stories of people who have sprayed products to mask gas. Definitely.
How old are you without telling us how old exactly? You don't have to. Are you in your 30s, 40s? You're not in your 40s. Are you in your 20s or 30s?
I am 35.
35. Okay, so this will happen to you probably in another 10 years. You will be camouflaging flatulence with products. You're too young, but as you get older, I'm telling you, it's like, "Oh my god, help me."
Well,
Okay.
but you see, perms aren't around as much anymore, are they? So, like, you used to be able to probably get away with it with saying, "Oh, somebody's doing a perm," and
It
then
is true.
there you go.
Yeah, I still have a older client that I inherited from my old, a girl that I used to work with who, I do her perms. I just did it this week. I'm like, "That is the rotten what in the
Oh,
rotten egg of
oh,
life is going on?"
that is like now that always frightens me. When somebody sort of like is doing a perm in the salon and you get that little
Mhm.
over, I'm like thinking, I hope the client is not thinking that that's me. Like thinking
Right,
'cause
right.
they don't know that somebody's having a perm. Like 4 seats down, so they could be thinking like that's disgusting.
I
So
know.
have to announce and say, "Oh, somebody is doing a perm." So
Right. Just
I
so
like,
you know.
don't think that's me.
That's me coming out of bathrooms. I'm like, "That was not me."
Yeah,
Just so you know. I had to go. I woulda switched, but I didn't have time. Listen,
yeah,
my gift is to tell you not to walk in there. That's what I
yeah.
Alright, so here's our last one. She says, "As you know, I" what does she say? I'm trying to do this without my glasses so I don't look so old, but here I go. Okay, she says, "As you know, I now travel for extended periods of time, and I can't get in to see you as often as I'd like. However, my hair goes gray so quickly, and I really can't stand it. I'm nervous about coloring it myself because I'm afraid of damaging it, as you should be." Her name is Melanie. "What's a girl to do?" She says, "Any tips for safely touching up roots without ruining my hair?"
I mean, I'd say Melanie, stay away from the box dye. Do not even attempt because it could band in, overlapping. Especially if she's brunette and she's covering that over. You can often sometimes get that almost like the black band where it's sort of like over processing a bit too much with color. I would say there's lots of stuff on the market now, like sprays and stuff, that people can spray on. But I suppose it depends on how much grey you've got, really. But I'd say maybe, Melanie, now might be the time to start going a little bit lighter, getting a few little softer pieces in there to like break away that block colour, if it is a block colour. Get a few sort of like little lighter pieces in, softer. It's not got to be blonde. It could just be like softer, like caramel pieces, because that'll stop that sort of like root looking as harsh and as like. So that's what I tend to do with like a lot of my clients, like who maybe like live further away, like some clients who live in London and it is, sort of like a longer travel to get to me. I'll often suggest like, let's start breaking it up a little bit so it's a bit softer. One of my clients, for instance, has just gone, again, she lives in London, but she's just gone traveling for 3 months. So I was like, she was like, I'm not going to be able to obviously do it at all. She's gone to South America. Is that right? Like Colombia and places like that.
Yeah, South America.
So we've kept it like really soft. We put some of a natural back through the blonde to break it up so that the roots don't look as bad. When she comes back to me in 3 months, we'll send her bright for summer. But yeah, it's all, I think, prep. In the prep.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And thank you, Melanie, for asking that question. And the first question was Mandy, by the way. So, Mandy, there's your little shady question. We answered yours too. So, yes, so those are fun. I decided to reach out to my clients and answer their questions online, which I think is great for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
And and helps me too. All right, Joseph. Amazing conversation as always. I'm so excited to have you back. It was
Uh,
such a pleasure. Where can everyone find more of you?
So if you want to find more of me, I am on Instagram, so at Joseph Ianson. And I'm also on TikTok again at Joseph Ianson. So come and watch me on there. Come and see actually what I do, which is beautiful, glamorous hair ups or updos or hair styling. I give product recommendations. So yeah, if you want to see a bit more of me and a bit more of my life, then you know where to find me.
Oh, such a pleasure. All righty, from across the pond. I will see you next time.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah, see you next time. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.